So the renters' right bill has now been released. A date has been released. So we're on City AM. So it says here landlords have just under 6 months to prepare for the renters' right bill, which became basically had received royal assent just in Parliament, a short while back. So the government has actually set an official date now for the commencement, basically the start of the renters' right bill, which is going to affect landlords in the UK, and they haven't got much time, around about 6 months, to actually start to deal with all the relevant changes that have come into play. So the bill, which basically is going to block no fault evictions, so Section 21, strengthen tenant protections and digitalize the sector. So, it's promising to shake up the market for both landlords and tenants. So basically, over the last kind of few years, the Conservatives started this process, and then Labour pretty much put the nail in the coffin for landlords in terms of the UK. A lot of landlords have been worried about this because they're thinking the pendulum has swung too far towards the tenant. Rather, it should be in the middle where there's a balance between the landlord and the tenant. Now, this kind of renters' right bill is going to come into play and will come into force on May the 1st, 2026. So that's next year in springtime, May the 1st. So basically, it's gone through a long journey with multiple governments and various readings and changes to the bill. So the countdown is basically here. And it says here good landlords can get ready, bad landlords should clean up their act. So, to be honest with you, a lot of the landlord sector does get a bad press, but I think most landlords are decent. You just like with any sector, you have a few rogue landlords, the ones that won't, clean their house, sort the mold out, sort issues like that out. There are landlords like that won't even touch anything, won't do repairs, maintenance. That's not right. Obviously, tenants paying, so they should be spending money on, painting where they need to paint, cleaning where they need to clean, deal with mold issues when they need to deal with it, leaks, sort the toilet out when something breaks, or general kind of maintenance issues, electrics, plumbing, whatever needs doing. In that sense, should be done by the landlord. But obviously, there are certain landlords that you know don't do anything, and then that causes a lot of issues. So the bill's headline policy is the abolition of the no-fault evictions, also known as Section 21 orders, which is going to basically allow landlords to end a tenancy at the end of a defined rental period without providing justification. Well, the Section 21 kind of method allowed landlords to evict tenants based on no fault evictions. Now, landlords ain't going to be able to do that. You're going to have to go and probably use Section 8, which will be potentially a much longer process, possibly go to the courts, and it could take months. So, said earlier, Chief Executive of Shelter said the renters must understand that their rights will not change today. So, the current system remains in place until the new rights come into force from the 1st of May. Sabrina Fernand Gotch, partner in real estate litigation at Mission de Rare, has said that landlords should just be prepared to get their ducks in a row to make sure that they're ready to comply with the new regs in relation to the database. So there was some touting about a database where landlords need to register if they're renting out properties and so on. So if you have a property which is in good condition, where you have a tenant who's paying the rent, otherwise complies with the terms and the tenancy, then there shouldn't be any issues for the landlord, according to what she was saying. Laura Odind, also a partner in real estate litigation of Michigan, added that the act isn't anything new compared to what the previous government had proposed, and that while all landlords might struggle with the increased regs, good prep should stand them in good stead. But what about tenants that are not good? What about tenants that trash your property, and then you can't get access to your property? What about tenants who just leave and leave a whole mess in your property and you have to pay to clean it up? Or tenants that damage your property and you have to pay to clean it up, and the rent or the deposit doesn't really cover half of it? What about that? Not a lot of people are talking about that. They're talking about greedy landlords all the time, and it's unfair. A lot of the landlords are small scale entrepreneurs with one or two properties, and they're getting affected. Now it should be different for large, social landlords or housing companies who have hundreds and hundreds of properties. They have budgets, they can deal with issues like this. But for small landlords, there should be a more tailored approach. What do you think about that? Are you a renter? Are you a landlord? Drop us a comment in the comment section below. What do you think about the Renters' Right Bill? Okay, people, currently we're at 3.7k subscribers. Help us reach 10k subscribers for more great content. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. See you in the next one.